Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's 7 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got a couple important things I'd really like to talk about this morning. As usual, I've told you guys before, I consider Beau of the Fifth Column, I consider him a mentor. Um, a lot of times I refer to him as a template almost for my channel, not to copy him in any way. One thing I learned early on in YouTube was that you got to be yourself, and you got to do your own thing because people will see through when you're not yourself. But I do use his template, and the one thing I admire about him is his propensity to offer solutions and encourage positive behavior. That's something I learned through recovery, that got me through recovery, and it's something I admire in Beau. And I want to talk about his last video. He talked about for the next 10 days that it's a good idea not to fall victim to Trump trying to change the narrative. And I've been watching the news and looking on my media apps for the last 2 hours since I made my last video. And the new videos coming out, they're not the same videos. The videos are beyond appalling. The level of violence that we didn't even see before in the last days. If you haven't seen some of the new videos just coming out today of what happened to the police officers, two Capitol police officers now killed. All right, so Beau the Fifth Column, before I get off track here. So he's talking about not changing the narrative, because one thing it appears that Trump has done before and is looking to do is to change the to kind of go out on a good note, to try to change the whole story, and he's done this over and over. Let me use an example. All right, how many of us are still thinking about that phone call to Georgia Attorney General Raffensperger? Remember, that wasn't even 10, 12 days ago. And that was almost completely out of my memory. That was huge. That was straightforward coercion and ballot box stuffing. The President of the United States saying that he needs to find 11,780 votes. That right there, like I called it, that's a smoking gun right there. We're not talking about dead people voting. We're not talking about immigrants, illegal immigrants voting, or any of that. We're talking about straightforward coercion to stuff the ballot box. Look, guys, I only need 1,178 votes. Come on, if you can only find. And then he starts giving Raffensperger excuses on how he could lie. Remember that? And even myself, this has happened over and over again. I noticed with the Trump presidency, there is so much overload of the corruption, the malfeasance, the just dereliction of duty with Donald Trump on a daily basis that I think most of our human minds can't keep track of concentrating on one when another one comes, and we kind of forget the last one. This has been happening over and over and over for the last 4 years. And in this way, he seems to escape any kind of serious retribution or punishment, because we always keep forgetting the last one, because there's just another one comes along that's just so unbelievable and worse than the last that we tend to overshadow the last terrible thing that he did just a day or two ago. So as his days are at a close and he's looking to do some kind of tour to spin a narrative, this is a distinct possibility. The main media outlets on TV are already talking about Trump looking to do this now. Especially because he's blocked on Twitter. One more time, for those of you that haven't heard it yet, a caged or cornered or wounded animal is the most dangerous. And apparently, Trump is sincerely trying to do this. Now, this is the thing. Beau made a request. I don't know. He made a sound suggestion that we don't fall for it. And I want to say I am going to be first and foremost, I'm going along with this. For the next 9 or 10 days, I am not going to make videos talking about where Trump's going or what he's to or who he's talking to or what he's lying about. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I am not following it. There's so much right now that we can look back on to blackball him from government, from our lives for good, that's what I'm going to concentrate on, and I hope other people concentrate on. What he did, this is just, you can't even put it into scale. What happened Wednesday. He has so much of this guilt on his shoulders for inciting this. And as we look at these videos coming out, the level of violence now, that just in the last day, the videos coming out, I vow, this is my personal vow, that I am not going to, for the next 9 or 10 days, I'm not going to come on here and report that, oh, Trump is now in Texas or in Arizona talking about this or that or saying and lying about, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue putting the last nail, throwing that last bit of dirt into the hole and burying him and get him out of our lives. He poses a clear and present danger. There's so much I still have to talk about with Twitter. That's a private institution and it has nothing to do with censoring him. And there's so much more I want to talk about. Let me bring up Eugene Goodman. In the very first video I made about this, the Capitol, on that day, I talked about Eugene Goodman. I talked about that lone African-American police officer backing up the stairs and stopping with his stick. And I didn't understand what was happening. And now interpreting that and understanding and seeing the layout of the Senate, I am unbelievably impressed with what this man actually did. Just this morning, I believe it was on CBS or CBS News this morning. They showed the layout of the entire Capitol. And initially, Officer Goodman comes up the stairs and backs up, and he realizes that he's leading them to the Senate. Because he can't stop him, and he keeps backing up, and all of a sudden, I think he gets to a point where he realizes that they're headed for the Senate chambers, where all the senators are still there, including the vice president, as this group of people are chanting to hang. I got to be careful what I say here. And you see him go in that doorway and then move around and go in the opposite direction, and sure enough, they follow. And he leads them away from the Senate chambers. All those senators were still in that room. They hadn't had a chance to get out yet. I don't think they were cleared out. Pence was in that room till 2:14, and this was around 1:30, I believe. I think we owe Officer Goodman a Medal of Honor, all of our thanks, because this could have been so much worse. More than likely, he saved he saved the United States from a further terrible disgrace if that mob had gotten a hold of some of these senators. There's still threats, I believe, with Nancy Pelosi, and this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. But the main purpose of this video is I want to say that I am in total agreement with both of his column, and I sincerely pledge not to follow along with Trump's distractions of spinning the narrative for the next 9 or 10 days. I am not going to talk about where he's going and what he's talking about or what he's lying about. I'm not going to give him the press. I'm not going to give him the time of day. He's got 9 more days left, and there's still plenty to talk about and to look over all the malfeasance and corruption and traitorous acts that he is added up, that he has committed over the last 4 years. So I have plenty to talk about other than him trying to change the narrative. I'm going to be back with another video. Like I said, there's so much more to talk about. You guys have a good Monday.